Hello everyone, I am T Commando. Welcome to part 7 of the Enterprise Refit build series. Yes, a part 7 after all these months without an Enterprise video. Just when you thought the series was all done. Now before we get started, I have made some progress. This is just, kind of like a before we get started thing. The wire joint now, the main reason I'm doing this is because, well, I need some help. Advice. Now you notice that the tab, the huge tab that normally keeps the warp nacelle in here, I had to cut that off. Because, the first repair, I wanted the warp nacelle to stay in place. Yeah. So I had to cut that off because, I put plenty of model cement on there, and there was no way it was going to budge. I already knew that. I was thinking of, carefully placing some sort of structural support in here so it has something to rest on, and clamping in place and putting another support in there, where this and the pylon would meet. So if you could give me any help on how to reattach the warp nacelle, I'm sure I'll figure out something. And I'll be right back. Alright, I am now pretty much set up to start working on this. I got the Dremel ready. I'm not doing this on the weekend that I was hoping to do this. It's just a regular weekend. But I figured, you know what, I'm here. Let's just get a start on it. So, I'm going to cut off this little section right here and remove that as carefully as possible. And then I'll be able to get at the wiring that's in here, hopefully. Yeah, I should be able to. And then I can then easily get in there with my multi-tool, whatever I need to get in there with, and fix the wires. So I will show you what it looks like on the inside after I get it open. Well, I got some disappointing news. That extends back further than I hoped it would. Yeah, it's just not looking good. I may end up cutting this entire part out now, just so I can get in there. No, I better not. Just kind of do what I did last time. So I did cut it in the right place the first time. Wasn't sure about all that. It's gonna take a bit for me to get it resealed. Okay, I'll make the cut where I made it last time. Get that pylon off, and just go from there. Alright, now I'm in the process of getting this little panel that I cut out back on. Well, getting it off, well, that was the easier part. Getting this back on was the harder part. Yeah, I was rather disappointed. I'm gonna have to make my cut again right here. Means I'll have to remove that same decal if I can. And I'm gonna have to. Very carefully. And just kind of try to do what I did before. Only I'm gonna have to cut a couple wires to fix a couple wires. Yeah. Well, I'll be back shortly. Alright, well I got the nacelle off, but not without difficulty. It's gonna be even more difficult if I can even get the light in there. Is soldering one wire which I'll point to this one right here. There's the joint that I gotta solder. I got solder paste on it, and it conducts electricity on its own. I'll turn on the cell strobe light to show you. But I want the joint to last. So what I'm trying to get, and I figured out what I need. I need a 32 TPI 8 bolt to add on to this, because this is not the right size, so that way I can get in there and actually, you know, heat it up. And this is the solder paste itself. Comes out as a gray paste and should become a silver color when it's heated, because it is a silver bearing solder paste. But I haven't had much luck because I can't get it hot enough. And it is supposed to be low temp. It is a low temp. No clean lead free. I'm not sure if that means what that means. If that means something, it probably does. Yeah, enough blabbing about that. So, hindsight, I probably could have just cut this right here, taken off the decal, then just cut up here, snip the wires, and then done that. It would have been a whole lot easier. It was easier than I was making it, but I was thinking I don't want to have to make any unnecessary cuts. That's pretty much what it's amounting to. No, not amounting to. Well, this was an unnecessary cut when I made it. This was also an unnecessary cut, but I didn't know it. I was hoping maybe I could, you know, fit the solder paste needle thing in there, get the solder paste on it, but I'm still learning this stuff. I'm still learning. This is only the second time that I've put lights in a model, and I still blame this on my knee. I still hate my right knee for this. You are a bad knee. I'll come back with the results of how this all went. Well, I did it. I got it soldered. There's a better view from. No, it's just gonna be blurry because it can't focus. But I got the joint soldered, so now it should stay in place. Hopefully, yeah. I tested it a few times to make sure that it would stay on all the time. It does. There's your proof. I don't see the pattern being interrupted. So, it's all good. It's all good. So, the next thing to do is just lengthen up these wires, along with these. And I wish I had some of that flexible wire left. That would be the ideal stuff to use right here, right now. Yeah. That should have been the other thing that I looked for at Flea Farm. Flexible wire in a small gauge. Well, yeah, I still got some stranded wire here. It's more flexible than solid conductor for sure. I might be able to use this since it's a stranded conductor. It's got some flex in it. And I think I might use this. Yeah. And for reattaching the warp nacelle to this, I have some leftover brass screws left over from making this, we'll call it a custom soldering iron tip that I can use. And I also have this left over, so I got steel and brass at my disposal. But how am I going to get to stay? Self-mix epoxy. And let's see. Leave undisturbed for 5 minutes, full strength in 24 hours. It has a strength of 2,500 psi. So that's pretty good. Alright. So, I'm just gonna kind of, do a little bit of experimenting here and figure out what I want to do. And I'll get back to you. And so this cut ended up being necessary in order to help start that one joint on the top side. So that cut wasn't a complete waste. Okay, I was going through the editing of the video and I figured, you know what? I'm just gonna do one final segment, upload the video, and I'll leave it to you on, just like advice on how I should reattach the warp nacelle here. Now you see the tabs that normally hold the pylon in place in the secondary hull, I had to cut off. Because when I made my other repair, which, I probably should not have done in the first place, because, it was just a temporary fix, and a stupid one. Yeah, it's just like, I know how I'm going to reattach the wiring, but how am I going to reattach the warp nacelle itself and actually get it to stay on there? A bunch of brass screws. I've got epoxy somewhere. I've got coins that I was planning to use. Nickels, penny, dime. Another dime. I know I've got another penny around here that I can use. And then how do I fit it on there? Do I just fit it on like that and epoxy it, or try to clamp it on somehow, or how am I gonna do it? Just let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll check them out. Because as far as I'm concerned, you've probably had a lot more experience than me at this, for sure. So that has been part 7 of the Enterprise Refit build. I thank you for watching, and I'll appreciate any help that I can get on getting this warp engine reattached. I really want to be done with this and, just be able to look at it and, do the show-off video. I am T Commando, and I will see you in part 8 of this video series. See ya.